believe the orders to target conservative groups by the IRS came directly from the White House?
I don't know, but we're getting more and more information that is making the tie closer and closer to the White House, because we now have people saying the orders came from Washington.
We know that it came from Washington. We have proof of that.
We don't know where the orders came from, and we continue to investigate and will continue to investigate.
Well, it's very clear this was politically driven because the IRS admits that they actually did target conservative groups. And where would this have come from? This wasn't a couple of low-level rogue employees.
Do you believe this IRS targeting came directly from the White House?
I'm afraid I have to say the message probably was subliminal through the media.
It doesn't matter if it was directed by the president or if it came from his political arm or if it came from within the executive branch.
It's a speculation as to whether or not it came from the White House. We're just going to follow the evidence and make up our minds once we find the evidence to or fro on that.
It took years to figure out where the wrongdoing was originating during Watergate, and it could take us a very long time to figure out where the wrongdoing originated with the IRS.
This came somewhere up the food chain, and we have to follow the facts. We can't come to conclusions until we first follow the facts, and that's what I'm going to do. But this smells very bad, and so anyway, we'll follow the facts.
But if the president didn't know about what the IRS was doing for the last 3 years, he didn't know what was happening in Benghazi, he didn't know what's been happening at Homeland Security Administration, he didn't know what his administration has been doing about all these issues. You just wonder, well, who is running things? What do you know?
I think the directive was out there clearly with the criticism of our groups that are out there that disagree with the president.
But here's the thing. As you heard, and as we've all seen, the president gave tacit approval because he said, these groups need to be investigated. You heard where senators from the Democrat Party and even House members wrote letters to the IRS saying these groups need to be investigated.
But we have to continue to determine it because the IRS has the power to confiscate people's property. They're a very powerful federal agency. And if the people in this country don't have confidence in them, we'll destroy our own tax system.
And so whether you got that message as an email, a smoking gun as some say, or whether you get that through the media airwaves,
I know you're out traveling and raising money and all, but who is running things? I think that's the big question. Either he knew about these important things, or we need to find out who's running things while he's out campaigning all the time.
I think people knew that it wasn't going to be so frowned upon by the White House because the president was frowning upon the people that disagreed with him.
So we have to continue to ferret out the truth, simply to expose to the American people and assure the American people that the efforts to collect taxes in this country will not be politically targeted or targeted in any way, that they'll be conducted fairly and in accordance with law.
So certainly there was tacit approval from higher up, but whether or not it was actually ordered or intended from the White House, we're just going to have to follow the evidence on that.
Mr. Beck, a growing number of Americans believe that the White House was involved in the IRS scandal. Do you believe they are?
I don't know how you can believe they weren't.